Good morning, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Gulfstream Park. Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry, and it's going to be a beautiful day. And Samantha, of course, the big news all around this, especially around here, mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be huge today. We were sweating bullets yesterday because the two singles alive finished, second and third,
Second,
I think?
and it looked like the four was going to win it.
Yeah, but today, look, over $2 million estimated in that pool that starts off in race 6, and we all have tickets. It's a tough sequence.
Yeah, Brian off this afternoon, but of course, he never leaves without tickets. He always has tickets. So, with that said, the first race is going to be mile 70 odds on the Tapeta, getting some nice full fields. This is not going to be an easy day to hit the Rainbow Six. You're going to have your handicapping hats on. So, it's starting off with this first race with 10 in the field, no scratches or anything. And Brian did put an early pick 5 ticket together that we'll look at.
Yeah, we'll take a look here, and those pools have been huge. 1350. He's taking a big stand in this early pick 5, and I like that. In race number 2, he's singling the 6 Unrelentless. Dave Fox looks like he's set up to have a big day today. Race 3, the 2, 6, and 8, those are my top 3, Ron, in that spot. Race 4, the 1, 4, and 6 Kabui, with the 1 for Jose D'Angelo and Irad look pretty tough. And in race 5, the number 8 Lita for Steve Glasaris, Irad Ortiz, 1350.
1350, very affordable. You can add a ticket and another horse, bring it up a little bit.
Or play it a couple times. I'd like to do that.
So we'll see how it plays out. And the first race, as I mentioned, mile 70 yards. And how did you see this opener?
I went with the 9 on top, Ron, Spirit of the Law. This is a kind of throw the dart at this race, right? Because a lot of these horses have never tried the Tapeta before or have never tried 2 turns. But Spirit of the Law is coming back as a first-time gelding. Joe Bravo gets aboard for Barkley Tag. Saratoga Stables are very patient with their horses. And maybe this is one that, I don't know, can work out something late. But I do want to say, and you noticed this yesterday too, if you were a closer on the Tapeta, you had no shot yesterday.
Yeah, no speed, and the inside looked like it was not that place to be. So make sure you see how it plays different this afternoon, or maybe not. So always factor that into your handicap, and especially when you're going to get ready for the Rainbow Six a little later on. I went with Highly Potent in here, and I just thought this horse, ran well on the turf in its debut. Mark Cassidy, going to put the blinkers on. That's what sort of woke me up a little bit. I like the fact they're putting blinkers on this horse, and I just thought he might be the one to beat. His second choice on the morning line.
I like the blinkers on too. The breeze leading up to this race, he was working solo, and he kept switching leads back and forth. So it's either greenness or he didn't like the Tapeta. We'll find out today. Hopefully the blinkers can just kind of get him a little bit more forward.
The one and only Todd Pletcher with the one and only Irad Ortiz Jr. and the number 10. Irad had quite a day yesterday with 4 wins, I believe.
He did. Todd Pletcher, too, starting to see some of his horses again. This horse is going to stretch out. They bet this horse huge at Saratoga. We'll see the blinkers go on today.
Yeah, when you see that, that's a good angle that you see. He took money. It was 85 cents to the dollar at Saratoga. So this was one of those steam horses that didn't work out that particular day, maybe.
No, but maybe today.
Let's go to race number 2 this afternoon, and this is 6 furlongs. It's going to be on the, by the way, fast main track, Tapeta, no turf racing, but that's not for long, because when we come back on opening day, we are back on the turf, and of course that's Thanksgiving Day. We'll talk about it throughout the afternoon. We'll make sure you come out and join us. Got a nice little compact 8 race card, so you can get back home and eat some of that turkey.
I know you're excited to just hurry up and get home after the turkey.
Yeah, right. 6 furlongs claimers. You got your early pick 4 ticket here.
I do. Yeah, it's a tough sequence for me, Ron. I didn't really see this as strictly as Brian did with some singles. The one I have on top here, race number 3, I've got the 2 on top, Reina Mar. Race 4, I've got the 1 on top, Kabui for Jose D'Angelo. And in race number 5, the number 8 on top for me. I had my best bet in race 5, the 11, and it scratched.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't really particularly like that race too much anymore, but $36.
Yeah, your tickets are a little more aligned with me than Brian was. Brian was taking some stabs.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what you got to do in here. So getting to the second race, I started off with the number 6, Unrelentless, and I know you wanted to show a video of Unrelentless.
Yeah, we've got a replay of this filly here. She's taking a big drop in class to the $8,000 level, and this was on August 11th. So the last time she was on the dirt, that was 2 starts back, or 3 starts back, I should say. And look, it was a winning one. She's 3 for 8 on this fast dirt track here at Gulfstream Park. Hey, she loves to win on the fast main track. She's a very deserving favorite here.
You went to the inside on top with Red Heart Spark. Herbie Miller, Miguel Vasquez going to be riding and handling that inside post.
Well, there's been 2 fast main track starts for this horse, and they were a second and a third. And I just felt like this is maybe a race where if Unrelentless, on the big class drop, is it a little suspicious? Maybe read into it what you will. She won for 12.5. But I think that Red Hot Spark, she's got a lot of grit to her for being the slower level claimer.
The number 5 horse, and you had some interest. It's Miguel's Bell. This first for Armando de la Cerda off the claim. This horse ran an okay second last time. And what I liked about it, this horse was favored doing this similar situation. And I think the turn back to 6 furlongs is going to be good for Miguel's Bell.
Yeah, I love the cutback with this horse because the 7 furlongs is really a tough distance sometimes.
Yeah, some we always say some handle it, some do not.
Yeah, because you're just going all the way all the time. There's not a time for a breather.
And, it all depends because you break out of the chute, you sort of got to get the right situation in there. Flipping the page, we will go to race number 3. I'm going to stretch it out to 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta. These are maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And we did have a couple of scratches in here of the 4 Ethel and the number 5, his choice. So we're dealing with that 5 race horse field, I should say.
Yeah, we are, but we've got the same 3, and I think Brian used the same top 3 in his ticket too.
And I know that you wanted to show a video with Raina Mar and also Makia.
Yeah, this is these 2 faced off with each other back on September 15th. This is where Raina Mar ran a huge race, just second, defeated by a nose here. That's the 2, and you can see where she is having to split horses and come up the rail. That is not easy to do here. Makia is a horse that finished a bit further. You'll see Makia running on there. But what a gutsy effort to be on the rail from Raina Mar like that and still be able to get second. And she gets the blinkers off today. I love that move.
Yeah, so see blinkers off with her, and she was gutsy. Usually with the blinkers, they'll make a move like that, but they think she'll do it without the blinkers.
Exactly.
Split horses, whatever. I always like that when they split horses. The number 6 Bomb Squad is who I had on top, and this is Christophe Clement with Red Ortiz Jr. in here. And, I want to show you a stat on Christophe Clement just to see how he does going to the Tapeta, turf to Tapeta at Gulfstream over the past 3 years. He's 21%. 57% of the money, 159. So good stats to him doing this. So, and he's done it well. He's come here, and he's one of the first trainers that just didn't care about switching to the Tapeta when it rained. He just runs his horses. So always good and good stats here. So I put him on top of the ticket, and then like you did, I used the 8, the 2nd, and the 2. I think those are the logical 3 horses.
So too.
Here, right?
I feel like you can get out of the race with those.
4th race. 7 furlongs. This is that distance we were talking about. Maiden claimers, 2-year-olds. We're going to scratch the number 8 horse. Georgie is important from Dan Hertak. And we have, let's go with who you have on top, the number 1.
Yep, I've got the 1. You've got him in second here. Kabui. I don't have a lot of creativity to add here because the debut was not that great, but we saw a really similar situation yesterday with Helicon. It was the same situation. The debut wasn't that good, had a little bit of time off, and then boom, gets Irad aboard and wins. Jose D'Angelo is not one that's going to fire first time out typically. Now the drop to 12.5. Honestly, this horse might not have a lot of talent at all, but against this group, maybe.
Yeah, and you get an Irad, and you can just see what he did yesterday. But the one I had was Blazing Hot. And I know we got a video with Blazing Hot, Grand Jaffe, and Tis the Moon.
Yeah, the gang is all here in this spot. And I agree with you. I think that Blazing Hot is the one you want out of this race. This was with Mike Yates, another trainer who's very patient with his horses. You see, look at the Tis the Moon way out the back and took a ton of dirt for Jose Garofalo. I think that's important to note here, but Blazing Hot ran very strong.
Yeah, I think this the horse to beat in this field. You make a good point with Kui, and the money's going to go show on him because of Iran. Just
exactly.
the day he did, well, not even you had the day he did yesterday. It's just going to take the money in there. But I thought the Blazing Hot might be the way to go. And I agree with you with Kabui in second, and I used the number 4, used a little further down, and that is Grand Jeffy, who was in that race, just showed you, and that one from Steve Cliceris, and just ran an okay third at 5.5 furlongs.
Yeah, I think this horse just needed some race fitness as well. That it just kind of one of those 12-5 claimers that you don't train on too hard, but you use the races to just kind of leg them up.
Race 5 this afternoon is full field. We only get one scratch in there. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 in life. Scratched the number 11 dialect. It was also wasn't my best bet, but was my top pick.
See, it makes the race a really big head scratcher now, Ron.
Yeah, I'm sure that you bumped up the 8. Is that how?
Yeah, that's what I did. The 8 I had picked in second. Lita. I don't particularly like this mare too much. She's 5 years old. She's only had 11 starts, so obviously the race record is very spotty. But it seems like as of late they've got her on the right track here. Look, she was I liked her last time with Paco Lopez aboard, and he couldn't get it done. And I don't want to say Irad's better than Paco or vice versa. They both have their strengths, but if Paco can't get it out of her, it's kind of tough to.
I went with our fortune cookie on top. Maybe go over Christine Lee's. We'll get a couple of those.
Oh, there you go. Good idea.
Our fortune cookie. This one, you just ran okay last time. It was beat a whisker at the wire. Beat ahead, and I thought the horse ran well enough. It was going 5.5 on the Tapeta. It's the old turn back to 5. I know we both like that move, especially when the horse shows some speed. And, you got Stephen Dye, who's a decent trainer, and Edgar Perez in the saddle.
And this horse has speed. That's huge.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, Ron, you have to pay attention to this in the first few races because the Tapeta can change quickly on what's favored and what's not, the biases on it. But yesterday you needed to be up close.
So that is the first 5 races on the card. What we're going to do is take a short break. We're going to rethink our thoughts. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we'll be back with the Rainbow Sixes. We've got a bunch of them.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha. And we've been telling you all week long that the mandatory payout in the Rainbow Six is going to start in race number 6. And it's going to be a 7-furlong sprint. It's an allowance optional claimer. And it's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We did have a serious scratch in here of the morning line favorite, so, number 7. Imran, right? How do you say it? Imanra, yeah. I think it ran Churchill Downs yesterday, if I remember correctly. And so we'll show you the tickets we put together that are out there, of course, on video.
Our videos are out. You've got one. Brian and I have got one. And here are our tickets on how we see the mandatory. Who were we going to start with, Brian?
Yeah, we'll start with mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yours and then Brian. So flip mine up there, and it's just 86.40. And, you see what I got coverage in the first 2. Race number 8, I'm going with whatever will be, will be. It's sort of a David Fawkes, as you mentioned, might have a good day.
Yep.
Whatever at OTs. That's my single. Like a coverage going through the rest of the card for $86.40. Of course, I updated my ticket after a few scratches that we had this afternoon. So $86.40 for me. Interesting to see what you did.
I'm starting off with the single here, Ron, with the number 8. It's a 115 play for me. In race 7, I have the 11 on top. That's my long shot, Mama Kim, for Doug Nunn, who got the win yesterday in the Extravagant Kid. I like this barn does a really good job. Race number 8, There are two ways to approach race number 8. It's single the one, like you did, which I'll play another ticket that is just singling the one, or maybe just using the 1 and the 4, the 2 Dave Fox horses. Race number 9, I've got the 2 Bapio on top. Race number 10, I have the number 3 on top. That is My Lady James. This is a very tough race, and good luck to get out of that. And in race 11, I've got the number 6 on top. That is Authentic Kingdom for John Service, who already has the experience on the Tapeta.
Yeah, that was my long shot last time, and I'll come back with him this time.
Yeah,
just
you
got
should.
beat,
Yep,
so,
I remember.
that
was close, too.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
So he ran a good race that day.
Very
So,
good.
and now quickly we'll go through Brian. Brian's ticket. $216. He must have hit something big yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He's also singling out one horse in race number 8. So a lot of people are going to be riding on the 8th race here today.
Yeah, they will for sure, but that horse looks the one to beat. He's got a lot of coverage in races 9, 10, and 11, and honestly, I don't blame him because those are arguably the toughest races on the card. Just a lot of unknowns here. I'm glad he's got Bapio in the mix. In race 10, he's got a lot of coverage. At the 1, Kyara, I know he likes a lot, and in race number 11, the finale, throw a dart at it. It's tough, but he does have the 2 Mark Cassie runners, which I think are going to be pretty live.
And he's got Brendan Walsh in
He
here.
does.
Brendan had a nice win yesterday.
8-1,
So,
yeah.
so we'll see how it goes. We're going to stand on the horse a little. So that's how we're going to see it. Good luck with all your tickets. You know, if you got a couple of singles in there, you could really pair down either my ticket, Samantha's, or,
Yep.
you know, we took a shot with the number 1. You may take a shot somewhere else if you feel
Yeah.
that way. So that's the beauty of the 20-cent ticket. You don't have to lose your shirt.
No, you don't. I hope not, at least.
Well, we'll go right to your single here, which is the number 8 horse in race number 6, Olivia Darling. And I thought Olivia Darling all along was the one to beat, even with the 7 horse. And I had the 8 on top all along.
Oh, see, I had the 7 on top, but now with Olivia Darling, first off, I like the post a lot here. I like the fact that she gets Lasix back on. She's not had Lasix on in a year. She's a grade 2 winner here. She likes this track. I feel like Jorge Delgado, whenever he's got these horses local with Ammo Racing, they run very well. And the Ammo Racing group, of course, they named this after their daughter, Olivia.
And it's a grade 2 winner at the distance, which I think is
Yes,
important
huge.
in there. And, you know, I went to the inside with the second horse. You got it in 3rd, and that's Dream Concert. This one from Kathleen O'Connell. And certainly you're going to have Irad going to get some, couple of plays in here.
Yes.
3rd off the bench. Why not?
Well, she ran a much better than it looked on paper at the Belmont at Aqueduct meet. But the thing is, she just hasn't won all year. So getting Irad aboard is a huge asset.
And what about the number 4, Olga, who you have in 2nd?
Well, I don't think that she's good enough to fit with these horses, but now you switch into the Carlos David barn. That's a huge trainer change from Jordan Blair now to this barn. You just see all these Arundel horses that are really lighting up the toe board.
Yeah, they've really become a good connection. So let's go to race number 7 now. This one's going to be a 1.70 yards on the Tapeta. These are claimers for fillies, 3-year-olds, and filly and mares, 4-year-olds and up. We haven't won a couple of, well, actually 2 races. That scratched the number 8 in here, Frothy. And you have a ticket, I believe?
I do. I've got a late pick 5, and we'll just show it quickly. It's $96. It's a bit much. In race 8, if you want to lob off the 4, that's the other Dave Fox horse. It'll cut it in half, but that's just kind of the stronger opinions that I have here. But race 7, this is a tough one.
It really is.
I couldn't cut anybody down
Yeah,
here.
and what that scratch was a horse that didn't really figure,
Exactly.
so it's still a wide open affair. And I know yet you want to show a replay with the number 3 Escape Room and the number 10 Mobay Princess.
Yeah, Escape Room I think is a filly that's going to be very tough here. You have her on top. I still used her. I don't trust her too much on top. Mobay Princess was my long shot, and I was yelling. We were outside. This was the last race. I was so excited.
This.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get it here. Now, Escape Room ran really big. Look at the way that this horse split horses. For a filly, the way that she did this, and what a crafty ride here. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, it was a really good ride. We were all oohing on. That was a
it was. Yep.
Good Joe Bravo ride that day. I want to show you a stat on this trainer here, and that's I forgot his name right.
Jose D'Angelo.
I'm calling him Francisco, his middle name.
Yeah.
Well, turf to Tapeta roots the past 3 years. You knew he'd be good.
Yeah.
20%. It's right there. Just what you expect.
Exactly. And this horse, look, the barn's 51% in the money. He's usually a 20% trainer, so this is just right on par here.
And a horse I know that you were interested in was the number 9 Alcohol. And I thought, did you use him? Yeah, you used him a little further down.
Yeah, I used him a little further down. I like the Tapeta for this horse here, too.
Yeah, you like that alcohol too a little bit. Now, she absolutely does not drink, and that's the honest truth. So I was teasing her a little bit there. Hey, look who's riding. Ray Lou Gutierrez.
I know. It's really cool to see him down here.
Yeah.
He's bounces around from Kentucky. He was at Del Mar this summer. He just bounces all around, and we got him here now.
Yeah, he always rides this part of the year, if I remember correctly, and then he goes to wherever he's going to go, Oklahoma or whatever it might be. So always good. It's the beauty of the championship meet being right around the corner. Everybody's starting to show up one way or another. It's hard not to be in Florida today. If you saw this weather outside, get on a plane and get down here. So.
You still have time.
Race number 8, 7 furlongs. It's claimers, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and up, which never won 3 in life. Scratch the 2 Fenwick in here, and Fenwick was a player in here.
I had him on top.
You did have him on top?
I did.
So, well, we told you all about the number 1 horse in here that everybody's going to single, and Samantha, took another horse forwardly with it, but whatever will be. Looks like the logical contender in here. Just the drop to $8,000 level. Yeah, you could wave the red flag a little bit. Why are they dropping this horse? He ran okay at 25.
Yeah, huge. I mean, and this is the late pick 4, but Brian will tweet out his ticket. So, but this horse on his good day, he should lap this field, quite honestly. And then everybody else is so close together. It's like if you just don't take a stand, you're going to get caught using all of them almost. Because besides him, it would be an all race for me.
Yeah, and this is that tricky one, because this one, you know what they say, if it looks too good, sometimes, it might not be good. I like the fact that you use the other forks, because that's been a successful move for whoever done it throughout the meet. You always see the other horse runs exceptionally well.
Yeah, and this horse benefited from the draw, too, getting that outside of the other runner.
Well, that was race number 8. Race number 9, we're going to stretch it out to a mile, 70 yards on the Tapeta. It's an allowance optional claimer. And these are 3-year-olds and upward. And we have some scratches in here. The 3, the 9, the number 12, Fly to W, and the number 13, Pasalmente. And note that the jockey change on the 11 is Edgar Zeiss. I think he's 1 behind for the title.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day with the end of the Sunshine Meet and these jockeys vying for the
last day, and we got to figure out how many rides they all have this afternoon. So if Ira would come down 2 weeks earlier, he'd have probably won it. Because
probably. Seems like it.
Well, hey, the big man in the room now with the scratch of Fly to W, by the way, is going to be in the stakes race on Saturday. KC Chief is the big guy in the room. Let's go back and show you what he does.
Oh, man. You like this horse a lot. Yeah, you do. Do you like the Chiefs? They're a ball team, right?
Yeah, no, they're based football team. Yeah.
Okay, yes. Look, this horse has 6 wins across this surface here, Ron, and has been so consistent. You have to tip your hat to him, because anywhere he ships, the Presque Isle race was a really good effort. And Irad went to go ride this horse, and he was defeated by Forever Super, who's a really nice horse. If the Tapeta's playing like it was yesterday, this horse absolutely is, tutti frutti, down the road.
Down the road. And, I thought the big problem might be Fly to W. I wasn't much enamored with Fly to W, talking about a scratched horse, because he had the outside post, which made me think that, KC Chief was even going to win, even though he was in the race, just because of the post position, the way this horse runs in here. Then the horse that I keep going back to, Samantha, I don't know if you used this horse, is the number 5 Yamato.
I didn't.
I was talking to Brian, who was also the line maker here yesterday, and I kept going back to this horse. Horse loves the Tapeta here, and I think he sits a really nice strip. You see, he tried Laurel, the Japan Turf Cup, that was going 1.25 miles. They took it off the turf. You come back, he's going long distances, but you look over how he's run at this distance, and he's at 3 for 8.
Yeah.
So,
which is impressive. The way that this horse can handle the 1.5 miles, but yet has 3 wins at 1 mile and a 16th is pretty impressive. I worry about his running style, at least with the way that the Tapeta played yesterday.
That's a great point, too. But just to class-wise, if anybody's going to class up with KC Chief, I think it's going to be Yamato in here.
Yeah.
And you use the 7 and 7. You use on top. You use Bapio.
Yeah, Bapio.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Off the layoff last time, and first time gelding ran absolutely massive. Now, the Tapeta's the big question. We'll see how he handles it today, but I think the light bulb is kind of flickered on. This horse was cut out to be really good, and not to say he's not good. He's still a stakes winner, but I love the fact that they've gelded him, and we'll see how the Tapeta is.
Yeah, and he's never tried it in 14 races, being his 15th race.
Yep.
Mark Cassie knows where these horses run. That's his game. Not only here, he's got the Tapeta up in Canada where he spends the whole summer, so he's pretty much an expert with it. Our feature race is in race number 10. It's 5.5 furlongs. It is the Gulfstream, $75,000. One jockey change on the number 5, Queen Ali. Make the rider David Egan will be riding the number 5 horse in here. And we'll start it off with your horse, My Lady James.
This is a very tough race here, and I hope I'm alive to this point. My Lady James has been freshened up since her last race. On the figures, she's maybe just a little cut below a couple of these. I'm spreading in this race in my Rainbow 6 run, but I like the way she ran last time. Although she was defeated by O'Darlin, I think O'Darlin just tripped out that day a little bit more. I think she's a nice filly, and I like the fact that they freshened her up.
Well, Time Passage is now back in Eddie Police's barn. Looks like he put it in Mark's barn to go to Canada and do all that. This horse at Gulfstream Park, 9 races on the Tapeta with 5 wins in 3 seconds. So this horse knows how to win. He's 2 for 4 at the distance. I'm not going to say it's a jockey trainer switch because it's not.
No.
It's just going back and up on. I think he has a chance to run well in there. Then you have the number 5, Queen Ali, the Irish bred, and I know you wanted to show a video.
This horse was very impressive on debut here locally. Look at the way that she looped this field. She's 5-1. She was facing some tough runners here. These are nice horses, and watch the move that she makes. This Ammo Racing, the horses that they have with Jorge Delgado, they don't have claimers. They've got stakes horses, and they've got these this allowance level, and she just did it with ease. She handles the Tapeta just fine, and David Egan, we mentioned earlier, he's usually the main call for Ammo Racing. So
yeah, that was his second consecutive victory.
Yeah.
I won on the turf at Monmouth.
Yeah.
And came in and won, like you just saw there, very, very well. So I think a major player in there. And the one horse maybe you take a look at, Nekiraya. This one I think can run well. Just look. Oh, I read Ortiz Jr., so I'm sure it's going to take some money in there. And this is Mark Cassie. Stakes. This horse has some class.
Yeah, and she is 3 for 4 on the Tapeta here. She loves this Tapeta. I don't know about her running off the layoff. This is a very big gal. When you take a look at her in the paddock, she is built like a brick house, and she's fast. If she gets away, maybe she might just run away from the field.
Yeah, and she's a Bouchero, and we saw how much
and
they love the
Tapeta.
Tapeta. So there you go. So let's go to the final race on the card this afternoon, the 11th, miles, 70 yards. This one's for maidens and 2-year-olds. Scratch the number 7, Blue Casanova. It does not get any easier in the final race here. You can go so many different ways. Both you and I have Authentic Kingdom, 9-2. I wonder what we're going to get odds-wise in here. I just thought this horse was sitting on a win.
Yep, and he was, as we mentioned at the break, he was your long shot last time, and he got us very excited that day because we thought you were going to get home in John's service. This is a good move for the barn here. The horse has experience, and now you get Paco aboard. That's good.
I want to show you standing the number 4, King of Ashes from Brendan Walls. This is the one with Edgar Zayas. Could be the one for the title, for the riding title here. This is domestic shippers into Gulfstream over the past 5 years. You knew it was going to be solid. 16%, 44% of money actually changed. Well, I don't remember if yesterday's win was a domestic shipper or came from Europe. I think it came from Europe.
No, it came from Kentucky Downs.
So that got to kind of go up to 17%.
Exactly, yeah, it does. And this is they completely ignored the horse yesterday. yesterday. Look, Edgar Zayas is on the horse. Brendan is a trainer that he usually, first time out on the dirt, that's not really his forte, but these 2 turns and the horse has been breezing well locally, so we'll see.
And what'd you see with number 9, Ruck de Oro, this one from Jorge Delgado, with, as we mentioned, David Egan riding in there?
Well, with these horses, when they ship from across the country and come here, you've got 2 options with them. You run them right off the plane, or you give them some time. They kind of met in the middle here with this horse, which I like. David Egan has been on the horse both starts, so he knows the horse well, and this is a great post position. I don't think this will be a short horse by any means.
And we both faded the morning line favorite, and that's the number 10 Midnight Vengeance, what I read for Todd Pletcher, and ran okay on the grass, so don't know what we're going to get today. So, like we said, pretty wide open affair for the Rainbow Six, for the whole card. So you got to do your handicap, and that's what makes it so much fun. With that, we'll take a chance with the lightning round now.
Take a chance. We've got a good lightning round today.
Excuse me.
Of course, we mentioned at the top, and we'll be mentioning it all day. Race number 6 kicks off that mandatory Rainbow Six as we start the end of the Sunshine Meet. And look at this. It's going to be big today, Ron.
Yeah, it's going to be over $2 million. I mean, if it's just perfect weather here, so you not have to worry about anything, and there's no turf racing involved. Of course, you'll be using it on opening day.
Yes, and we'll get into that in just a second. But yesterday, we'll take a look back at Dave Fox in the juvenile sprint. Big Paradise was a we said in the office, the IRAD hadn't even asked the horse at all until about here.
Yeah, you knew he was going to win the whole race. It just he was in the perfect spot, and Paco give him a little whack just to keep him focused, and he went nice. The 6 didn't run badly. He was never going to catch the 5.
No, the 6 ran really good. Watch that horse, especially if they get him to switch leads. And then later on in the card, we had the Extravagant Kid, the overnight handicap. It was.
I know you were dancing in the streets with
this one. this was fun, and it's just Extravagant Kid was just such a cool horse, and I thought it was so fitting that Smithwick Smice won this race. This is an 8-year-old New Jersey bred. He's just made under, I think maybe 700,000, maybe 800. He gutted it out in a big way for the connections. I talked to Doug Nunn after the race. He was crying.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, look at that. Oh, thanks, guys. This was a huge effort, and what a cool New Jersey bred.
Yeah, and you go back when we were talking about the air, it was you and I, and they were talking about it, and I'm looking down, I'm saying, boy, this horse figures. If he gets the lead, he wins.
Yeah.
He got the lead, and he won.
And he likes the Tapeta, too, so that was the big question. And you look at the horse, he is bigger than the paddock. He's a huge horse, and just congrats to the connections. Excited to see where they go with him next. I'm sure we'll see him back here.
And we got Turkey Day.
Opening day. That's Thanksgiving. We've got a post time of 11:15. This is going to be a big day. We've got a stakes race on the grass. Tropical turf, Tropical turf pick 3 is back. We've got great weather for the week. Come out and join us. And like Ron said, we're finished, I think, about 2:45.
2:45, the last race goes off, so you'll be home by 3:10 or something like that.
Yep. If you rush home, you get a part of the turkey and maybe leave with some money in your pocket before you go.
And watch some basketball. I know you like basketball.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And football, whatever's your taste. And, of course, our best bets today. What's yours?
Mine's scratch. Mine was Dialythic. I'm out. Yep.
My best bet today is in race number 8. It's the one, whatever will be. And your long shot?
It's from the Doug Nunn barn, Mama Kim, in race number 7. A local winner on the Tapeta. She broke her maiden on the Tapeta.
15-1. I'm liking that. Mine's not as quite. Mine's going to be 9-2, and I'm afraid this one's going to take some money. We'll
maybe,
see.
But when you have Pletcher and Irad in the race too, I think if you get anywhere above 4-1, you're good.
I was looking for 5-6-1.
That's good. I think.
So that's how we see it. We'll be back here throughout the afternoon, and you can see how excited we are. Just a week away. Well, how many days away from the championship meet?
You're gonna make me do the math.
No.
4 days.
Something like that. We'll certainly be here, and be here all afternoon too. So good luck, everybody.